is another way of saying you're being courageous. Okay, good. Number 7, Vivian, taking responsibility for something you've done that you've enjoyed. So this is the one that's similar to number 3, but slightly different because it's something you've enjoyed. That's the difference.
Pay the piper.
Good. Pay the piper is right. Okay, being in a dangerous situation. Let's go back to Emily.
I don't know.
No guess? Dangerous situation. Just look at the words in some of these idioms and you should see that there's some clues. You've used that one. Which one of these suggests you're in a dangerous situation? Anyone want to throw it, I guess? Or the answer? It's got to do with a game that can be played.
Behind the 8 ball.
Behind the 8 ball. Right? And pool, the 8 ball is the ball you don't want to hit by mistake. So if you're behind it, you're in a dangerous situation in the game, and that's been an idiom that applies to life. When you're stuck, another way of saying it is even just stuck. Okay, unreliable, fail you when you need them most. How about this one, Emily? Are we on Emily? I think we are.
Fair weather friend.
Fair weather friends, okay. Good. Number 10, avoiding disgrace, keeping your respect. Kayla? Which one of these is about saving face? Good. Okay, so avoiding disgrace, keeping your respect is saving face. A weakness or flaw. Leo? A weakness or flaw?
Eat humble pie.
No.
Achilles' heel.
How do you say that?
Achilles' heel.
Yeah, not Achilles's, just Achilles. Achilles heel. Achilles heel. Okay, good. To challenge someone. Nathan?
Swan song.
No. Challenge someone. Vivian, you want to try that
one? Throw down the gauntlet.
Yes, throw down the gauntlet. All right, you're ready to fight when you throw down the gauntlet. Make emotions easily seen. Emily, when your emotions are easy to see, what's the idiom that matches that?
Wear heart on sleeve.
Wear your heart on your sleeve. Good. Kayla, to admit your error and to apologize.
Eat humble pie.
Eat humble pie. Oops. And fittingly, final or last. Leo, which one is final or last? There's only one left. Nathan, final or last?
Swan song.
is the swan song. Okay, those are your idioms. Again, these come up in writing. Okay, they come up in conversation. They are things you can use in your own writing and informal writing, not probably for formal writing. Okay, and they can show up in SAT tests in terms of like a piece of fiction or any kind of writing that could use these idioms, and there's an expectation that people know them. Okay, and they are difficult to know unless you're presented with a list. But as you get older, you'll hear these more and more. Okay, and there are some others that are not included in that list that perhaps we'll have time to go through one day. Okay, second thing I want to do today is the vocabulary exercise from last week. So the answers to lesson 2, the sentences. So can you please take out your document, open your document with the answers to the fill in the blanks for the sentences. And we're going to go through those one at a time just to make sure you understand those. Here are some examples of words that sometimes are confused that I think are fairly basic ones that everybody at this stage should know. Okay, so for example, oops, you have your two, and two. Okay, we know how to use these, I believe. TOO, meaning also. Okay, don't confuse it with the one with one O. Very straightforward. Your and your, the possession rule. Okay, versus the contraction rule. So your, YOU, apostrophe RE. The apostrophe is the hint that it's short. It's a contraction, short form. Okay, not to be confused with the possession. Whose and whose, the exact same rule. Possession versus contraction. Don't get them confused. Okay, there, and there also gets confused. Okay, that possession is there again with the THEIR. Okay, the other THERE is a place, also a sentence starter. Okay, there with the apostrophe, everybody knows means they are, not the same as their house, right? You're not saying they are house. Okay, between and among, between is comparing to, among is comparing more than to. Than and then, straightforward. One of them is used for comparison, one of them is used for time. Good and well, good is an adjective. You can read a good book. You don't do good, you don't skate good, you don't run good, you don't write good, right? Those are verbs and they need an adverb to modify them. The adverb is well, not good. Okay, when someone asks how are you doing, the correct answer is well. To say that you're doing good is wrong. But of course we let it slide when we're in conversation sometimes. Okay, it's versus its, again, apostrophe contraction versus the possession. Very straightforward. Okay, and that's it. So there are some grammar questions that come up on SAT tests, and it is important to know the difference between these. So let's do some of these together. So if you can open up the second doc where you are completing the answers for 1 to 11. Again, the easy ones. Okay. Let's do them together. So, Emily, what's the question? Answer to 1. It takes way too long for me to walk to school. That first blank, which 2? How do you spell it?
The first one is TOO.
Right. And then to walk to school, which 2 do you use in those 2 cases?
The TO.
In both, right? TO and TO. Very simple. All right. Number 2, I found this cell phone, but I'm not sure whose it is. Kayla, which whose?
WHOSE.
WHOSE, right? We're not saying who is, it is, which is what the other whose is. The athlete stepped to the podium to accept prize. Simple one, it wasn't on the slideshow. Vivian. How do you spell?
Accept
Sorry.
with the E.
With an A, right? Easy. Oops. 40 kilometers is a greater distance than 10 miles. Which then are we talking about? Vivian? Which one? THEN or THAN?
THAN.
AN, of course. Okay, then 10 miles. Wearing blank clothing is a good idea on a hot summer's day. LOSE or LOOSE? Lily?
It's LOOSE.
Of course it is, right? LOSE is the opposite of winning. You guys notice people make these mistakes in their text messaging? As a teacher, I guess I'm aware of that, and I have a lot of friends who make horrible mistakes with these words sometimes, and it bothers me. Earth's average temperature has risen over the past 50 years. How do you spell past in this case? Vivian?
PAST.
Of course. They're on their way to the beach. Kayla, which theirs go in each blank?
The first one is there with a RE, like
Spell
they
it all out.
are.
They are, okay, so TH.
And then the second one is THEIR.
Good. The cat cleaned its paws before eating its meal. Emily?
It's ITS, no apostrophe.
An ITS in that one. What about this one?
It's the same.
Good. Okay, we're not saying it is here. We knew it was your jacket because of the initials that were marked on the inside. How do you spell? Nathan, you back? I guess not. Lily? Which your?
The possession your.
So no apostrophe, right? What about here? Spell for me. Apostrophe or no?
No.
Sorry, no, right? Of course not. Easy one. Okay, Sean knew that in order to do good or well in his chemistry test, he would have to begin studying at least a week in advance. Vivian?
Good.
You can't do good. The answer is well. You need an adverb to modify a verb, right? This is a verb, to do. So good is an adjective, right? The drama teacher suggested the students read aloud so that they would be all ready for the play. Kayla, what do you think? What goes here?
ALOUD.
Of course. And what goes here? One word or two word?
2.
Good. All be ready, right? Everybody ready. Okay, these are considered some of the easier ones, I think, that are examples in numbers 1 to 11. Okay, let's try and do numbers 1 to 12 and see if you know the rules. Now, I have a separate doc open that I'm going to use to type in some answers. So I'll be flipping between that doc and this doc. Okay, so a couple of you in that other doc. Yeah, it's the third doc. So you should open that one too. Okay, these are trickier. If you're not sure, you can take a guess, but I will ask you to explain yourself to see if you can define or tell me why you picked what you picked. Okay, too much screen time at night definitely affects your sleep. Let's start with Vivian. Go. Which one? A or E?
A.
Good. Can you tell me why?
I think A is like the verb and then E
Good.
is noun.
Yeah, that's a good way of explaining it. So affects, oops, is a verb. Okay, and what does it mean when it affects your sleep? Eating sugary foods affects your health. What does that affects mean? Vivian, more or less, right? Like you don't have to give me a dictionary definition, but what is it trying to say?
Like impacts.
Yeah, a perfect word. Impacts, influence. Okay, this one is a noun. Okay, so they're similar because you could say the impact of eating sugary food is that it will affect your health, but it's used as a noun. The effects of smoking are that it can cause cancer, right? So it is a noun. It means consequences, impacts is another way. Okay, results. The key is noun versus verb, which is what Vivian pointed out. Very good. Okay, between and among we already did in the exercise, so I'm going to skip that one. But what is the answer? The 3 science courses means that it is among, right? Between is only 2. All right, here's one that has to do with school. If you don't cite your sources, you can lose marks and be accused of plagiarism. Kayla, which site are we talking about? When you cite your sources.
CITE.
Good. Why? What does it mean, or how would you explain that?
It means to like formally state the sources that you got your info from, like usually
Yeah.
somewhere in an essay.
Okay. So formally state where you got, you're trying to say you're referencing, right? Okay. You've probably completed a works cited page before. So these are the works that you referenced. Okay. What's the other site mean with an N, with a S, Kayla? More or less. What are we referring to? A construction site, for example, or a website. Kayla, what's that basically saying? What's a site?
Well, it can be a place or it can be
Yeah,
like
a location. All right, that thing. Good. I took a nap after practice today in order to ensure that I would be ready come game time. Emily, which ensure are we talking about?
The first one.
All right, with an E. What does the ensure with an E mean?
Um,
No.
I don't know how to explain.
Well, what's it basically saying? Let's say you didn't have this word here and you just said it a different way. In order to blank that I would be ready come game time. In order to what?
Make sure.
Make sure. Okay, that's as simple as the simplest way you can put it. What's the other ensure got to do with, Emily? Maybe you've seen it like this. What's all that about? You insure a car or a house.